it true what they say? Hey, mama, hey, mama, Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat, his love is home. All he left us was alone. Papa was a rolling stone, my son, yeah. Wherever he laid his hat, his love is home. All he left us was alone. Well.
What up? Happy Sunday, everybody. Chatted up with MissNoRearView. We're always moving forward, never looking back. So here we are again, sharing another testimony. It's real crazy because they just keep coming. They just keep coming. I know that we are blessed. I know that these are a lot of people that I've known throughout my life. So I'm really thankful to have everybody stand up and represent, share your testimony. Some of you know me, some of you may not know me, but I was adopted at birth. I wasn't raised with Black people, but I'm a Black African queen. A lot of the people that you'll see me interview and I say are my family are of the Caucasian race, or Hispanic, Chicanos, Mexican Americans. My mom was Creole from Louisiana, and my dad was Hispanic. He was a Chicano, Arizona born and raised Mexican man. And because of that, I'm a very diverse person. I blend in well with all nationalities, but you'll find a lot of people in my family are white. Tonight, I'm going to introduce my nephew. So when my mom and dad got divorced, I was 8 years old. My dad immediately went and married another woman, and my mom started messing with Black dudes. That was the first time I ever really knew I was Black, was when I was 8. It's real crazy, but yeah, I didn't ever know I was Black till I was 8. So when my dad married this other woman, he immediately, like within the first year or so, adopted 3 Caucasian boys from Benson. They're my brothers, you know what I'm saying? We never called each other any different. My dad wouldn't allow it. My dad ended up adopting 3 boys, another girl, another little boy. So with me, I started it. My dad probably adopted 6 kids in his lifetime. Good, bad, or indifferent. We're all here except for one of us. And it's just crazy that the lives that we've had. Now those 3 boys, my brother, one of them, there's Thomas, JR, and Fulton, and my brother Fulton is an alcoholic. Actually, all of my brothers are alcoholics, but my brother Fulton married a woman with children. Her name was Barbara, and I was introduced to this young man. He was probably like 10 or 12. They were living up in I think the White Mountains, up in the Springerville area, or White Mountains. And we just kept up with each other all these years. Justin is a recovering addict. Justin is expecting a baby soon. Justin is a bodybuilder. Justin is amazing. So I'm going to bring Justin on so that he can share his testimony with us. Again, thank you guys for joining. Justin.
Hey, what's up? How are you doing?
I'm blessed. How are you?
Shit, I'm good. Enjoying this Sunday,
What'd you do today?
Got up. I went to the gym. And then, come back. And then me, Carla, and her daughter, we all went grocery shopping. Okay. Just got the essentials, stuff to make food for the week, so that we don't got to eat none of that fast food shit. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah. And then, Yeah,
So
go ahead.
Carla's your new fiance. She's your girlfriend, and you're
Yes.
expecting a baby now, right?
Yeah, in February. In February, I know it's a good blessing. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
it's really exciting.
because this is gonna be your first child, right?
No, I have a son that's 11, but
Okay.
due to my my active addiction and getting locked up all the time, I got my right severed back in 2016. I got my
Okay.
right severed, so I can't contact him or nothing. So
So let's talk about that in a minute because let's tell everybody first, like, and I'm sorry for your son. Sometimes when we're in addiction, our lives lead us in places that we don't want to be. So I don't want to just brush that off, but we're gonna talk about that. But I want people to know who you were. Like, where were you from? Where were you raised at? I know I told everyone that about a little bit about my family and how Fulton was your stepfather, but let everybody know where you're from.
all
Where
right.
are you raised from?
I was born in Tucson, Arizona. Always rep the tuck. Um, I went to Marana. I went to the Marana schools. I lived out in that district, and yeah, I don't know. I just grew up there. I used to ride bikes, play sports. I grew up pretty decent. There wasn't a lot going on. Like I wasn't around no drugs or nothing. Um, the parents used to drink. My mom, she used to go to the bar all the time. So I kind of eventually looked at that like, dang, that's how you have fun, huh? You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, yeah. So I mean, like what more would you like?
No, and then when I met you, you guys are living where up in Springerville, or
Yeah.
was it?
Fulton and my mom got together when they were still in Tucson, and
Okay.
then it was my sophomore year. I was 16, I think.
Okay.
I is when we moved up to Springerville, and then I was kind of back and forth from Tucson to Springerville, from Tucson to Springerville, and but yeah, I was up there for a while, a couple years.
When did you start getting in trouble?
Um, well, the trouble, I didn't start. I think I was like 18 the first time I ever got arrested, and that was from drinking. And then what kind of led up to that, so when I used to ride BMX, and when I was 14 years old, I got a surgery on my arm,
Okay.
and that's when I got hooked on Vicodin.
Wow.
Yeah, and you don't realize it when you're that young. Um, you get the doctors used to hand those out like candy,
Yeah.
and the opioid crisis wasn't such a big issue back then that I know of.
At all. It
Yeah,
wasn't.
and so I take them recreationally here and there. And I started taking them, at school, and then every day, and then I remember getting morphines at school.
Wow.
Um,
From other kids?
yeah, other kids, that they were like 50 cents a piece back then.
Right?
Yeah, so it's like 50 cents for a 30 milligram morphine. Like, oh hell yeah, and
Right.
so that, and then the drinking, drinking the party pills, and then yeah, then I got arrested the first time when I was 18. We were at a party, and the party got busted by the cops. And,
Hmm.
they caught a couple of us. We got like a minor in consumption or some shit, and then it only got worse from there.
And you know what I noticed as a consensus because I have interviewed a lot. I mean, I like 98% of my shows are interviewing from people from Tucson, and what I feel is like we were destined to party. It doesn't matter what generation. Because how old are you, Justin?
35.
35. So you're just under me. Give or take 10 or 12 years. But you're in the decade under. And all my friends say the same thing: party, pills. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah,
was in abundance when we were young. Would you agree to that?
Yeah, it was all over the place, and especially if you went looking for it. It wasn't hard to
Yeah,
find.
at all. So when you went to jail, you said it was just minor, your first time, just a slap on the wrist, or
Yeah, well, actually, the first three times I got arrested, it was I was 18, one time was 19, and one time was 20.
wow,
And they were all for minor and consumption, and it was literally like a year apart for each one. And I was just out partying, having a good time, I thought.
right,
And then the first time I actually went to jail, I was 21, and that was leaving a bar, and one of my buddies got in a fight at some party, and we ended up leaving, taking off, and the cops pulled us over, and there was some weed in the back, and then a bottle.
right.
So they took us to jail for that shit, and so I was just in there overnight. Um, and then yeah, it's been a roller coaster ever since then.
At any point, did you think, 18, 19, 20, oh shit, I need to quit drinking, or did you even?
Um, no, I did always wonder. So here's how I used to drink. Um, we go out to a party, in high school, me and all my friends, we're just all having a good time. Except for here's the thing, I'd black out every time I drank,
Right,
every single time. And I mean, I did some of the stupidest shit. Like, I look at it now like it's embarrassing. Like,
right,
sometimes I laugh about it, you know what I mean? But, and then I'd wake up the next morning, we're at the party, at my friend's house, and it's a Sunday or something, and I just start hitting the bottle again.
wow,
Like it was nothing. Like, and my friends are all looking at me like, well, Justin, what are you doing? Oh, we're still trying to party, acting belligerent and shit.
right,
Um, we're all 17, 18, like we kind of brush it off. And then, after high school, a majority of my friends, they all went on to start doing adult shit.
right.
And me, man, I never wanted to grow up. I didn't want to grow up. I wanted to keep on drinking, and who needs to work that much? I work just enough to get my pills or whatever.
Right.
Never have no steady job. Um, and yeah, and then it just gradually, like they said, addiction's a progressive disease, and that's exactly what it did for me.
And then where did it go? Where did it take you?
To hell.
To hell? What
Yeah.
did you? What did you do? Anything harder than alcohol, or?
Oh hell yeah! I've done every drug there is. Um,
Now,
no.
mind you, Justin. I don't want to glorify. Like, my thing is not to glorify, but
Yeah, no.
my
I.
thing is to let people know. Like, I was about that life. Like, I fucked some shit up. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared to tell the truth, because we're not going to focus on that too long. We're going to jump beyond that, like,
Yeah, yeah.
because
No, I
this
got
is
you.
the testimony. But
But yeah. Um, 21. I started doing heroin here and there. Um, and it was just a couple times at first, and I didn't shoot it the first couple times, but I did. I mixed up in a spoon and snorted it because I was sscared of a needle. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't
yeah,
around it. I wasn't around people that shot up.
right.
So when I ended up getting some, me and one of my buddies, I remember, a good friend of mine, but he's clean now by the grace of God.
Amen.
Um,
Thank you.
but the heroin. The first time I smoked meth, I was 21,
Wow.
and then I done crack, um, every type of opiate there is, even back in the oxycontins when they were really good. um,
Yeah. And
and
then
then
you went to prison too, right?
yeah, in 2016, the apartment where I was staying at, we ended up getting raided. Um, then they got us on some paraphernalia by the grace of God that I was allegedly selling heroin up in the White Mountains.
Oh wow.
Um,
Oh shit.
And
So that was up
so,
there where my other brother was a police officer.
oh yeah, I've sat in the back of his car a couple times.
Are you kidding me? What?
No, I'm not. Hey, I want to tell you a story. Real quick.
Tell me.
All right,
That's funny shit. Like,
this was 2016. Okay, let's
all right.
backtrack. I'm kind of be all over the place. So,
It's
um,
okay. Don't worry.
in 2010, I was living in Springerville again. I went back up there, and there's nothing up there. There's nothing good in that place. So, if you got a couple felonies and people know who you are, no one's gonna hire you for a job up there. And so I was allegedly distributing methamphetamines and pills. And one day I was on probation for a charge down. I was on probation supervised in the White Mountains from a charge down in Tucson about a year prior to that. And
Right.
so, anyways, probation said I missed in. You know how they do that shady shit sometimes. They said I forgot to check in. But anyways, I was on my way to deliver some pills to someone, and JR's the one that pulled me over.
What?
Yeah. And I was like, man, what are you doing? So, anyways, I ended up, yeah, I had to sit in his car, and then I had to wait for my PO to get there. And then what is it called? Accent. It used to be called Accent up in Round Valley, in
Okay.
Apache County. And that was the drug enforcement team. And the Accent, we all rode. All right, they went to my trailer and ripped that apart, looked for everything. And I ended up, while I was on probation, caught a couple more charges. And so, yeah, I
So
had to sit
did
in the car.
JR could have
He
helped
was
you
doing,
evade all of that, or
he
what?
was doing his job. That's all I look at it now. Me and him haven't gotten along the best, like ever, really. But I look at it now, and I was at fault, and he was just doing his job. So I have no reason to be upset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But
But
yeah,
JR knows better than that because he's from Pueblo Gardens and shit. They used to be the biggest gangsters. You know, I ain't trying to talk about my brothers, but they were raised in Pueblo Gardens.
yeah, yeah,
Three little dorky white boys from the White Mountains. I think they're from Springerville originally too.
yeah,
That's where my stepmom was from. That's funny. That's so funny.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, me and Jr. definitely for a lot of years didn't see eye to eye. We had like this hidden family beef. He didn't like me. I didn't like him. But
Right.
I seen him a year ago, and he said he was proud of me, and I said thank you. And yeah, it's cool. It's whatever.
Good. That's good. We don't I don't know. I just say that my family is so dysfunctional that I don't even speak to my brothers. You know, I I don't hold grudges. Like I wish them well. I love them, but they always act like they're better than somebody. I did my shit through you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I did what I did, but it wasn't like any of them were not stone cold alcoholics. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to point no fingers, but at the end of the day, like he who has no sin casts the first stone, and y'all just don't realize that.
Yeah.
So, now as we're older, I don't agree with JR on some Trump shit and, politics. It's bigger than that now. And so he blocked me. And
Oh
I'd be
wow.
like, okay, if you
Yeah, you
if you're
was
gonna
blocked.
block me over some Trump politics or me, we weren't meant to talk, whatever. Fast forward. This ain't about me. This is about you. But yeah, I'm glad that you're able to make some peace with them.
Yeah, and then
I always try to keep in touch with you, just to encourage you, as a young man and seeing you in recovery, seeing you live your life. Like They told you at one point, yo, that black lady right there is your auntie, and you're like, word, like,
For real, I'm like,
okay,
damn, what's up,
fuck
bro?
it.
Right? Yeah.
Um,
I don't, that the Fulton, JR, and Tommy, they're all good people. Me and Tommy used to hang out a lot.
yeah,
We used to drink a lot, when I was younger, like, 19, 20, even before I
yeah,
was about it. And we always got along pretty good. Um, and Fulton, man, I love Fulton to death. I got a lot of love for Fulton.
yeah.
He's been he has been a father figure to me. My mom will disagree, but they have their beef. I actually think they're divorced. They're finally divorced now.
They're finally divorced now?
Yeah, yeah.
Because your mama went and got into some trouble too, huh?
Hmm. Yeah, my mom did.
Yo, we don't gotta talk. We don't gotta air out all the family
Yeah,
business.
I know. We could go on for days, huh?
Yeah, a whole bunch of trauma and dysfunction. That's all I look at it as. Like, I'm glad everybody's not in that situation now. What would we do? I mean, I hope that everybody's lived to learn, but at the end of the day, like, you're creating your own family right now. It's like it's you for yourself, because you've been in recovery for how long?
Um, I think I got like 970 something days.
Yo,
And, yeah,
what you said, 970 something
yeah.
days?
I'll have 3 years on January 28th.
We're gonna make it.
Yeah, we
Yo.
are. We are. We ain't going
Okay,
back.
so Justin, from all that, what was your bottom? What made you be like, fuck this, I ain't doing this shit no more? Because I've seen you've been with different women over the years. You've
Um,
been,
yeah. Well, I've hit a few rock bottoms, to be honest with you, but I'll just talk about the last one.
hold on,
Um,
excuse me real quick, Justin. One of my dearest followers, his name is Drunk. And he said, "What's up, Miss No Rear View? What's up, Drunk? How are you today? Happy Sunday." And then he already told you, Justin, he said, "Salute, bro."
I appreciate it, man.
Okay, so here we go back. This is my nephew, Drunk. This is my nephew from Arizona. Oh, one more question. Did you find that the drugs were worse or easier to get in Tucson or up in Springerville, up in the
No,
White Mountains or
it
Round
was
Valley?
it was hard to get drugs up there in Brown Valley. It was
Okay.
hard. I mean, if they did come in, it would only be for a few days, and then everyone buys it up, and then it's gone.
All right. What was your bottom? What was it?
Um, so my bottom, basically, I just got back from Alaska in 2019. I was up there for about a year trying to do something different, but I'm I ended up getting shot out up there too. um, I
Okay.
was doing drugs up there too. I could blame it all on the depression and that there was nothing to do, that my job sucked. But it was just me. I just wanted to get high.
Yeah.
I felt like there was no reason. There was no reason to even try to move forward because so much bad things would always happen to me when I was trying to do good. And then, I don't know, my dad ended up shipping me back down to Tucson. He's like, "Where do you want a plane ticket? I don't want you here no more. Nothing."
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
"Fuck it, whatever." So I went back to Tucson and I went and partied for a couple days. And then I went and stayed with one of my cousins for a couple weeks. And then I got an apartment in a beautiful place on Fort Lowell and Stone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and if you know
You
what
were
I mean
just
by
right in the mix.
exactly. And
Shit.
I had no car. I was working with my cousin at the time. I had no friends no more. I burned all my bridges. And like I said before, everyone grew up.
Right.
Here I am, 32 years old, still trying to live like a 21-year-old. Um,
Got you.
and so, anyways, I was at that apartment and I had no friends, nothing. I was by myself, and I was still drinking at the time. Actually, I think I quit doing dope for like 3 weeks. And
And when you say dope, what is dope?
uh, heroin, black,
Okay.
and G-funk, that meth,
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And
But
you let me know if I trigger you or anything,
no,
because
you're good. It's an open subject for me. I talk about it almost every day to people.
you know what and to Justin, not to, I will keep it. I'm your auntie, damn it. I'm gonna keep interrupting. No.
Uh,
Um, no, I'm really proud of you for coming on and saying, like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll do it. That for you to share this with me is it means so much to me. So
yeah, it's no problem. Yeah, I'm glad to tell my story because there's a lot of people that be hiding that shit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
A lot
So
of,
okay, so go back if I took
but
you off path.
so
I'm
anyway,
taking
so I'm on great Fort Lowell Stone, and
okay.
then I'm drinking by myself, and it sucks. I don't know if you ever drink by yourself when you're an alcoholic, but you start, you get sad. You
Yeah.
know, like damn, I need companionship. So what do? The first companionship I know, we're walking right down to the corner right there at the Circle K, where the alley is, where the tents are set up. So you go make a whole bunch of new friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you end up losing your apartment, and then you go stay with the family member, and then you fuck that up too, because you still don't want to get clean, and then you lose there, and then you lost that kind of last little anchor you had, that little help, and then you're back on the streets homeless,
Yeah.
and then I don't know. Everyone's got their own homeless stories, but that shit sucks.
Yeah.
You know, and I've done it a few times. You know, when I was younger, I guess it was kind of more fun.
Yeah.
But I'm 32, and that shit wasn't fun no more. You know, I'm sleeping in an abandoned house in a piss-covered mattress in a real bando. There was no water, there was no heat, nothing.
Right.
Um, you have all these shitty people around all the time.
Hold on real quick, Justin. Shitty people around all the time. Let's mark that memory. Drunk said, drunk's the name, but I'm on the sober path too. And then he said, these recovery podcasts really helping stay sober also, showing me the end game if I keep going. This is why I'm doing it, drunk. This is
Yeah,
why I'm doing it.
you got to spread the
Justin,
word. You got to spread the word on this stuff because
you have to reach back, Justin. You have to you got to reach back and pull people out the mud. Like,
yeah,
I'm going to say it every time somebody asks me that question. Like, I went and researched this shit. And I watched so many YouTube videos where they show the people in the depths of their tragedy. And they give them a pack of smokes, enough money to buy some dope or a beer or whatever. And then they're out there and then they're making millions of views. But I want to see that person now.
yeah.
I mean, I want to see when they make it. Now, we're not going to glorify that. We're not going to live on that. But I want to see when they make it. He said, let me see. I have a question if you don't mind. He said, so I always wondered, what's the mindset of a person who spends rent money on drugs? Like, if you can explain the thought process that happens with that. Because I have many friends who've spent rent money on drugs and ended up homeless. Have
Um,
many.
the thought process behind that, there is none. It doesn't even make sense, does it? It
No,
really
there's
doesn't.
not.
It doesn't. I wish I could explain it, but that's why I don't think addiction will never be explained because we can't explain it.
Yeah, because
the only,
it's. Go ahead, Justin.
you can't even try to make sense of it. You can't even begin to comprehend our thought process because our thought process doesn't make any sense at all. Like
You don't even
nothing.
know. You don't even know what you're doing when you're doing it.
Yeah.
You know
The
what you're
only thing I was
doing,
worried
but
about, the only thing I was worried about when I was spending that rent money, or I was gonna go buy a bag of heroin to sell it to pay my rent. Come on, you just
right.
do it. I mean, that's how I was. There's some people that can do it. There's some people that do that, but me, I couldn't do that. I go out. And it's crazy. It doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, and if for me, from my side of it, because I spent my rent money before, um, you don't think about nothing else.
Yeah,
When
that's good.
you're addicted, I mean, as with alcohol, because I have many alcoholics in my family, crack cocaine to me is a mind thing. Methamphetamines is a mind altering drug. Now, heroin and the opiates, that is an illness that you don't want. You
No,
don't want.
I don't wish that on no one, man.
Alcoholism and heroin, coming off heroin and alcohol run neck and neck with as far as how sick as fuck you're gonna be. But cocaine, methamphetamines, they alter your mind. So some people are spending their rent money because they're sick and they want to get well. Some people, that's all that they're focusing on. They want that drug so bad that it's there's no ifs, ands, or buts. They're always thinking, I'll put it back, I'll hustle, I'll do this. They're always thinking they can rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah,
I mean,
it, does-
that's
it,
just
does-
my mindset on it. Like,
yeah, that's really what it is. I mean, there was the days where I'd have $10. You know what I mean? Like I'd come up on $10 somehow, and it's like, man, I'm down to 115 pounds. I need to eat or I'm gonna die, or I'm gonna go get a fix so I don't feel like shit.
right?
And then in my head, I was gonna get well and then figure out how to get some more money to eat.
Yep.
You dig what I'm saying? And it's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah. They're
It,
running
it
in
just
a rat wheel.
yeah, and it ends all at the same place too. I'm just lucky
Okay.
that I'm not dead.
Thankfully. So let's go back to Stone. Horrible people on Stone.
All right, all right. So my continuing drug use, and for me the meth always made me really paranoid. Okay, like bad, to where I was scared of my own shadow. I was scared of everything. I couldn't be around no one. I can't tell you how many nights where there's a bunch of people over at this shitty house, but at least it's people around. But I couldn't even be around those people, and I would walk the streets all night long, just to get away from everyone. And I'd wander all over the place just to get away from everyone.
Wow.
Um, and I kept doing that. And then in January, it was, I think, January 25th, or no, it was the 28th. I said that'll be my 3 years. Man, I don't know if you know where Bath and San Joaquin is.
Yeah, I do.
All right. I walked from Fort Lowell and Stone one night. I finally had enough. I was like, oh, everyone's going to kill me, da 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 da, for no reason, just tripping. And something in my head, I think that's what they say, a spiritual awakening. Something in my head, like, I don't know if I heard God talking to me, or I could have just been super high. Whatever it was, though, told me to get out of there. Like something bad's going to happen. Leave, Justin, leave. I ended up walking one night. I think it's like 18 or 19 miles.
Just
I
about
walked.
probably. It's a long. I couldn't walk it again. I
Hey,
don't know.
I walked. It took me all night. I ended up falling asleep, and I found a blanket in a shopping cart while I was walking.
Wow.
Which that was weird. I was looking around like, dang, is someone following me? Put this here because they know I'm cold. I don't know. I grabbed that blanket because it's still kind of wintertime. I was wearing shorts, and I walked all the way out to Boston, San Joaquin, to my grandparents' old house, which I have some cousins that live there now. And I showed up at their door one morning, and they're looking like, "What are you doing here, Justin?" Everyone knows I'm all fucked up. I'm like, "I need help. I need help. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of worrying how I'm gonna eat, how I'm gonna get high." And I stayed at their house for like 3 days. I was coming off the heroin, fentanyl, whatever it was, and they took me to the gospel rescue mission.
Dope. Hold on, let me change my. Oh, hold on. Let's take a pause. Not a real pause, but Drunk said every show I'm gonna remind you that you should write a The Wire type show about Arizona because these stories are great.
Oh yeah,
Like I
Arizona
said, and
gets down. It's crazy over here.
we're all sunburnt by the our brains are fried.
Yeah.
Not really, not really. So you ended up who told you the people that you stayed with
Yeah, my
ended up
cousins.
taking you to the
The
gospel rescue mission?
gospel rescue mission. Yeah, that place saved my life. I got a lot of love for that place.
Right there off the sixth?
No, it's over there on it's on It's over by Palo Verde and the I-10, kind of by Tanca Verde swap meet.
Okay.
They have a whole new center. They moved it over there, I think, barely like 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
And man, that place was awesome. I stayed there for like 4 months.
Okay. And what did you wow. Okay, so what did you learn when you went there? Because you detoxed at someone's, well, semi-detoxed at someone's home.
Yeah, cold
And
turkey, no Suboxone, no methadone, because that shit's just as bad as the other stuff in my eyes, anyways.
my eyes as well.
You know. Um, so I went there. I was still dope sick too. I remember I showed up and I just went there to stay until they could find a bed or a spot at a different rehab. And they told me though when I got there, they're like, "Oh, we have recovery services here." And I said, "Shit, perfect. I'm already here." You know what I mean? And
Wow.
so yeah, so I had to wait like a week, and I looked bad. I was down to like 120 pounds. I looked like shit. I was starving. I wasn't myself, and I told myself, I'm gonna do this because I'm tired. And so yeah, I entered their recovery program, and I did phase 1 and phase 2. There's a phase 3, but each their own. I felt I was ready. I stayed there like 5 months, and I ended up leaving, and then yeah, and then I ended up coming out here to Mesa. But I went in there also not knowing God. I used to be a really like not antichrist, but I was always a believer like that shit don't exist. Like
Right.
my life, I ain't never seen no God in my life. It felt like I lost everything I ever had and loved. So
Yeah.
I didn't believe in God. But you know, after being at that program, it's a spiritual based program.
Of course.
And so, at first you're going to be naturally rebellious. And I had all these questions like, well, how do you prove there's a God? Just a bunch of stupid shit, just trying to be different or whatever, instead of just accepting the fact that there is a God and there is something higher than us and something that can save us.
Um, so Drunk said, so at the gospel place, what kept you from saying F this and I'm going back to the drugs after like a week?
Because I was done. Where am I going to
You knew
go?
it in your soul. Like you
Yeah,
said, you had a
yeah,
spiritual awakening.
yeah. I was tired. I was tired. Just totally, completely exhausted on the fact. I mean, okay, I could have left the rehab and could have went and got high, and I'm still in the same spot. I'm too smart for that shit.
You're
Like,
sick and tired of being sick and
yeah,
tired, right?
yeah, I'm tired of it. And for 20 years of addiction, 20 years of off and on of pills, alcohol, and all that shit. Like, not everyone gets to that point where they're tired. They usually die, or they go to
Right.
prison for the rest of their life. And bless me, thank you God that I've survived quite a few overdoses. You know what I mean? And that yeah, that is just I didn't want to go back. I didn't. There was
And
nothing appealing to it at all.
Tion said, I love it here too. Other Alex, I don't know what he said. He said he make a change that I was ready and change your life. We all order to, we all owe our we all order to God. Congrats on your recovery. He said,
Thank you.
without God, none of this would be possible.
Yeah,
And
you're absolutely right.
he said that's a good program at the Gospel Rescue Mission. It's a great program. He said he was tired of being sick and tired as well. Amen, brother.
All right. That's good, man. Yeah, thank you.
And
Yeah,
this is even for you, Drunk. Here are two brothers that, they don't know each other, but Justin said he went to the um, Gospel Rescue Mission program. And Tion is the other young man that I interviewed the other day. So Tion's currently there, Justin's there, and obviously it's doing something good. So I need to send these testimonies to the gospel too.
Yeah, the gospel, man. I still got a bunch of the people I met there. Some of the coolest people ever. I know a few of them. One of my homies, Dallas, I met in there. And it was really funny because a lot of people kind of, me and him were like the clowns of the place. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we're always goofing off, and people are like, "Man, are these guys gonna make it?" Man, both of us are still sober, and
Okay.
I've seen quite a few people that I was there with that a few years ago that are back in there, and they're
Yeah.
still trying though. I got much love for them, for people that be still trying to get right, because it's
Yeah.
hard.
That's all part of it. They always say, oh, recovery. No. What is it? Relapse is a part of recovery. No, you just
It
fall
doesn't
off the
have to
wagon.
be.
Like you make a choice.
Yeah,
Like some days you get like me, I will get the case of the fuck. It's like fuck this, fuck that, fuck you. And then that's all it would take for me to get in a mood like, oh fuck everybody. I'm gonna do something for me. And that's the only thing that I was able to do for me.
yeah,
Nobody else wanted to do that but me. You know what I'm saying? So fuck everybody. This is the attitude. This is exactly the way. Hi, Papa. Look at my little grandson. We always got to put the kids when the kids come and when they bother me during our shows. We got to put the
uh,
kids on. Say hello, everybody. Say hello.
what's up, buddy?
He's gonna be mad. Here, where's your mama at? Hold on, I gotta open a fruit snack. No fruit and grain bar.
All right, that's better.
No fruit snack. All right, go back to mama. Here you go. Thank you. So, Drunk said, salute to Tion. He had a great episode on here too. Tion said, I'm not in the gospel rescue mission. I just know about it. All right, so there's two different programs. Um, so now you're addicted to lifting weights.
Yeah.
How much can you bench, bro?
Not that much. Um, I hit 280 for one at the beginning of this year. I haven't tried anything higher since. Um, I only weigh about 165 pounds, so it's decent. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um,
Are you like perfect for your size and height? Or are you
um, I'm pretty strong. I'm a pretty strong person. You won't see too many people at like commercial gyms that are my size
right?
pushing the weight I push. I mean, I'm not the strongest person in the world. I throw around a little bit of weight. Um, the weightlifting helps a lot with
Oh, this guy named we get trolled sometimes. So Michael Henry said, I just want you both to know that I'm staring at you both intensely while I sat on the toilet having a huge poo. Oh, thank you, Michael. I'm
yeah.
glad you're
Cool.
thinking of us intensely. Um, and do you want to go into competition or are you going to
I don't think so. I think what I have been lifting for a few years now, on and off, like during my bouts of little sobriety here, and then messing up, and then going back sober, and then messing up. But this last 3 years was the most that I've been this consistent, and
okay?
I love it. And it always has helped. Just situations where I went back to the drugs and was like, oh, if I had weights, I wouldn't go back to the drugs. But
Right,
now I just make it. It's a huge part of my life. Just the lifestyle of the weights. It requires a lot of discipline and structure,
right.
and that's something I feel addicts lack. They don't have that.
Exactly. And so you're on a routine, you don't miss a day. And now
Um,
you have this beautiful female. Who is she?
her name's Carla.
And
Yeah, yeah, she is beautiful. Yeah, I
where do
love
you
her.
meet her at?
I actually met her uncle through he was a coworker at my job, and he say,
Okay.
"Hey, my niece just moved here from San Diego, and she doesn't know anyone or anything." And I'm like, "Well, cool, like, well." And he just called her. He called her right there. It was like,
Hey,
and handed
Carl.
me the phone, and handed me the phone. So yeah, we
Was
talked, and yeah, we
was
just
it
hit
love
it
at
off.
first sight?
Yeah, I think so. Was it, Dave?
Ask
Love,
her.
love at first sight. Yeah, she say yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Oh. And what makes you so strong now, Justin? Like I understand you said, you know, you just didn't want it anymore. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. 3 years is a long time, Justin. So what are your whys? Like why are you staying sober? Why have you been able to last this long?
Um, why? Like I said a bunch is I just don't want to do it no more. I don't want to die, especially with all that fentanyl shit they got going on. I'd die. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
and I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I got I got a lot of people that love and care for me. And
Yeah.
then when you're in your addiction, you don't think about that stuff. I have a great life. I have a lot of potential. Like I'm not rich or nothing. I have everything I need. I got a new used car uh back in March. I've never bought a car like that on my own in my life.
Nice.
Um, I financed it, and then I just did some more adulting and refinanced it to get a lower interest. So
Nice.
I'm learning how to be a grown up. All this stuff that I've never done in my life, and it's kind of cool. Um, and then I feel, with Carla, and that we have a baby on the way. Like this is going to give me another chance to be the dad that I was meant to be.
Yes, sir.
Um, I also, I get a lot of people that hit me up that have known me for a lot of years, and like they tell me how proud they are of me, that I inspire them, and that feels good. That feels good. And another reminder is I work over on 35th Avenue in Van Buren,
Mm.
and I don't know if you ever been over there, but
No,
man,
not really.
it sucks. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. They got a tent city built up with like 1,500 homeless people right down the road, like tents set up. I mean, it's nasty.
Wow.
There's zombies walking everywhere, and that's a good reminder for myself every day while I'm out delivering the still that like I don't want to be like that no more.
Amen.
And I work too hard for this body too. It's just like
Yeah,
I don't
you
want to
can't
lose it.
let that
I
shit
don't want to
go.
lose that. I work too hard for
Yeah,
that shit. No.
that's dope. And Carla's daughter, you guys are working, blending a family together. That's what you're gonna
Yeah,
do.
yeah. I love both of them. I really do, and they're happy. They're really happy, and they deserve happiness as well. So
Oh, I'm so proud of you, Justin.
thank you, thank
I
you.
really am. Like, I don't know. I guess we all just have our lives, and I make sure I comment or not even comment, but I like your stuff when I see you're doing good. But I just want you to know that I really do like admire you. I wouldn't be asking you like, Justin, can you come in here and tell people what works? Because like Drunk said, or anybody watching, like you can inspire them. You can answer some questions you know that they may have never thought possible. Just somebody's gonna relate to you, Justin. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah. There's always it's good to it's good to hear other stories. Like there was another white boy that you had on that I think it was the video you sent me about like how you do these recovery videos. The guy
Tyler.
that the guy that had the standoff with the cops.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, that's crazy shit. But some of the
Yeah.
stuff he said, even the same words, how he articulated his words, I was like, wow, like you hear that it's all over the place. We all have different stories
Yeah.
and all come from different places for the most part,
Yeah.
but everything's so similar.
Yeah.
Everything is so similar.
And that's why That's why, Justin, I've been blessed with the ability to be over here, and I worked at an all men's rehab facility over here, and they love them some Mama T. Like it was really like recovery because I'm open, I'm honest, I let everybody know what's up, and I tell them like you don't want to be like this. I just really get in their hearts and in their minds. Um, I'm always that example. Like I throw myself out there. Like if I could survive all this, just imagine what you can do. And it gave me also the inspiration to be like, damn, that could be you, but it's not. So, you know, make sure you just don't be like that ever again. Um, so Tion said, living the recovery dream. Drunk said, I've literally been thinking about drinking hella lately. This podcast just totally erased the craving. Wow, drunk.
Wow, that's good. Keep watching these videos. Call someone if you need to, man, because I know that phone weighs 1,000 pounds sometimes. I know it does.
Yeah,
And
and if you what would you tell him like right now, other than that, Justin, like when he gets the urges or the cravings and the videos aren't there? Of course, I would like you to go back and rewatch them and replay them as much as possible, but what
um
was some things, a couple cute things that you learned when you were at the Gospel Rescue Mission that helped you when you had
um
urges or cravings?
I mean, if you take that drink, it ain't even gonna fix nothing. You got to realize that. You can't just go pick up that drink because all your problems are still gonna be there, and that craving, it's gonna pass.
Yep,
And then, like you said, you just watch this video and you lost the craving. It went away. The cravings
yep,
come and go just like that. So you just have to learn. You probably already got the tools. You got to just put everything into action.
that's right. Tion said he's giving me Dion said he's giving me inspiration. Recovery is real.
It is real. If
These are,
if you
Tion's 9 months, I think, in his recovery right now, and he
good,
was on
keep
a couple
pushing.
days ago.
Keep pushing forward. Because soon you'll be at 3 years too, and then
Yeah,
4, and then 5.
yeah. And then Drunk said, "Well, even more than the videos is just the fact of knowing there's other people who have fought these battles and won." Yeah, Drunk. That's the main focus of all of it. There's testimonies. Everybody. I When I went to prison, right? Literally, Justin, I'm going to share something with you guys, and I haven't shared this before. So let me just fix my face. Um, so I don't know if you heard through the family or you see my post that I had a son, my firstborn, Anthony. Um, when he was 21 years old, he was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and they gave him 5 years to live. Um, for another show, I had also the same year he was diagnosed, I caught two class 4 felonies, attempting to traffic stolen property, and was put on probation. Within 6 months of being on probation, I had already violated and was put on work release. Well, I violated probation violation. They gave me 7 months. 1 month was like fighting the probate, right? Fighting the probation violation, and then the 6 months was my sentencing for it. My little kids were immediately brought back here to the East Coast. Their dad got them. My son was diagnosed that year, right before I went to jail or violated. They removed his right lung because they found it to be full of cancer. They went to do a biopsy to take a little bit, and it was awful. So they removed his right lung. Then I battled my addictions, drinking. Mainly it was drinking at that time, cocaine. I battled my addictions in and out, of of, like, I remember going back to jail on work release every day. Some days I was drunk, literally faded, or go get on my bunk and just lay there spinning. And you figure you got a strip search every day. You go back in there. How they didn't smell it on me or no is crazy. It's crazy. Um, back and forth, whatever. I was on probation for 6 years. Something that should have been done in 6 years. And it took me absconding. I absconded. I came here because finally it ended up that they wanted me. I didn't go to court, whatever. And I was like, fuck that. I'm not going to be in Orange next week. So I came to the East Coast. And I had a couple things I needed to get my taxes back because I didn't want to go to prison with no money. My granddaughter was going to be born. I wanted to be here for that. And I had a show, underground hip hop show, where we were taking 2 vans of East Coast artists to the West Coast, to Arizona, to perform with West Coast artists. Like, it was my dream. And I promised God, like, I'll turn myself in. After that, I told my son, I was like, all right, son, like, mom's gonna go. He knew his mom was about it, like, ever since the beginning. Mom's gonna go. And I hugged and kissed my son goodbye. And I was on the run for like 3 months. Got my taxes, did everything we needed to do. I ended up taking the kids to do what they needed to do with my tax money, and I got pulled over. And I waived my rights of extradition. I slept in a different jail every night to get back to Arizona. Strip searched, searched, and unsearched again. Only thing I had was my Bible. When I got back to Arizona after 5 days and I was in the pit, I sat down and they said, Mom, I finally got to call the kids and they're like, Mom, sit down. And I was like, all right, I'm sitting. And they told me, well, brother died on Friday. And I lost my shit. That was my lowest. And they're like, are you going to hurt yourself? I'm like, no, I'm not going to hurt myself. The psych lady came, do you want to hurt anybody? I was like, no, I just came from across the United States. I'm filthy. And I just found out that my son died. I just want to lay down. And I had this Bible. It's called Rescued, Not Arrested. I got that Bible here in Pennsylvania, and I carried it across the United States with me. And that's all I had was me and my Bible. And they wanted to put me back on probation, but instead of probation, I ended it up telling them I want to go to prison. My son died. Like, I want to go live back on the East Coast with my kids to just send me to prison. All of my son's dead. So they gave me 1.5 years. When I was in the middle of the desert, Justin, it was like my child had to die. And I had to be in the middle of the desert in the summer. Arizona was hot as fuck. My shoes were melting to my feet.
You're over in Perryville, huh?
I was in Perryville. Yo, that shit was so crazy that I got on my knees, Justin, in jail, prison. And I begged God, I was like, please take the taste of drugs and alcohol out of my mouth. Take it from me. I don't want this no more. Like, I can't do this no more. And I don't drink anymore.
Good.
For some reason, I don't even want to taste it.
Yeah, the smell of alcohol makes me sick now.
Anybody that's around me, like, that I know is using drugs, or I can't be around them. Do I want? No, I feel offended if someone knows that I'm in recovery, and if someone knows that I'm in recovery and they offer me that shit, like, you're the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're Satan's spawn if you even think to offer me anything.
Yeah, they don't know how serious it is. So some people, it's really serious.
For me, it's life or death too. You know, I think I'm there with you because I'm older now. I go to the doctor and they, oh, well, this is good. This is good. I said, thank you, Jesus. You know, I said, I'm going to count my blessings. Now I just got to work on my weight loss. So Auntie will be hitting you up for a routine or two.
Got you. I got you. I got you.
But I think it all falls back to your spirituality, being sick and sicker than sick. Enough is enough. And what else, Justin?
That's pretty much it that I think of right at this moment. You know what I mean?
So what do you have planned for the future? Near future,
Uh,
soon future?
the future, yeah, you know, I've learned. Well, right now I'm still. I know it's been almost 3 years, but I'm still in early recovery. It is to me, and I try not to do nothing too big that's gonna stress me out too much, because that overwhelming feeling sometimes take us back.
Yeah.
So I just plan on continuing to work, continuing to build with my family. Um, and yeah, just keep grinding, and then whatever's gonna happen is it's in God's hands. Um,
Amen.
just one day at a time. Sometimes a minute, sometimes just a minute at the time.
And for me, it's a second at a time.
Yeah, yeah, for real. There's times where I'm out driving around. I'm just like one, two Mississippi, three Mississippi, four Mississippi.
um, Drunk said, "Wow," and then he said, "Yo, this is facts. I can cut friends off who try to peer pressure me into going out and drinking. Yeah, you definitely should. They're not for you.
You
If
have
you're not
to.
for me, you're against me.
You
Period."
have to. I don't even leave my house unless I have to anymore. Um, it just kind of sucks, you know. I live. I guess some people would call it a boring life, but if that's how I have to stay sober, then so be it. You know, willing to go to any lengths for our sobriety.
Period. That's all you can do. Drunk said, "Sicker than sick." That's the name of your book. No review. My book has to be in like 3 or 4 parts though. Like, I can't just do one book. So keep them coming. One of them gonna be sicker than sick. Um, Justin, I love you,
I love you too, and thanks for
and
having me on this. Thanks
of
for
course,
letting me share.
when I come home, my daughter-in-law lives in Mesa.
That's where I'm at.
You're in Mesa,
Yes.
so we'll definitely do lunch.
All right.
Me and your wife, and then hopefully by then, you said February. February, what is your due date?
What was the due date, babe? I don't know. It says on the paper. I don't. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Well, hopefully it's February 19th, because that's my birthday.
All right. That'd be crazy, huh?
No, that would be great. But I appreciate you. Let me know about the registry. If you guys are gonna have a baby registry, let me know.
All right.
And do you have any final thoughts?
No. Yeah, I pretty much went over everything. I mean, I could tell stories for days, but I think we pretty much covered the main topics about what we were here for.
Definitely. Well, I thank you, Justin. Hopefully, maybe we can do an update in the future.
Yeah, I'm down.
But I really do appreciate you coming on and chatting it up with your auntie.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good to talk to you. I know we haven't, like you said, we always kept up with each other on Facebook. I always considered you really cool because I felt that I related to you a lot compared to the rest of the family. And so it's good, you know. It's good to chop it up with you.
Well, I think it's good, and let's keep it up
Yeah,
because tomorrow's not promised, so we can encourage each other daily.
that's right.
I appreciate you, Justin. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Bye. Chat it up with Miss No Rear View. Fire show, sicker than sick. Fire show. Drunk, thank you for being a part of my show too. I really do appreciate you. Have a few show ideas this week. You know I'll be back. More stories, more testimonies. Um, Miss No Rear View, never looking back, always moving forward. Happy Sunday.